All right there, how are we all doing? All right. I'd like to say thanks for clicking on the video first of all. But this lesson is about creating a good solo just using your first and your third finger in this place on the guitar. It's going to be the same shape and then we're going to move up to here using the same shape. That is it. The reason it's come about, old student of mine, he WhatsApped me and said, have you seen this thing, this Gilmore, I think it was, I don't know, 4-note challenge or something like that. I thought that's a good idea for a lesson. So basically, the reason this has come about is because I teach a lot of people and they come in and they might have been playing a while, a few years. And what they do is they want to say, I want to get better at soloing, yeah, which is we all do. Improvising is not the easiest thing and it takes time. But this is quite a common thing where you get a person who has studied all the scales, knows all the different box positions and shapes. And then when you say, right, this is what I do, is they come in and I say, okay, first play for us a bit first so I can see what you're about and stuff. And they show me all these scales, you know, all the different positions. Okay, that's good. And I say, let's have a little jam then. And that's when it all goes wrong because it just sounds like they're playing their scales over, just playing scales. So it's very soulless, there's nothing to it. And then after we have a little jam like that, I go, great. And then the next question I ask them is, so what guitar solos have you learned? Or, you know, who are your favourite guitarists who do solos? And you might get a answer back like, oh, I listen to loads. Okay, who are they? Or, oh, anything what comes on the radio. So if someone asked me that question, I'd say, well, what style of music first? Because I like a lot of different styles. So basically what I'm saying is learning scales is good, yeah? They're good for exercising your fingers. It's good for developing your ear so you can hear the different intervals and then you can recognise music or solos what use them scales. But it doesn't make you create good solos. What makes you create good solos is learning other people's solos first. Not if you're into alternative indie stuff. You know, you don't need it for that. But, you know, it helps. So basically, a good analogy is just so you said you wanted to speak Italian, right? I said, all right, yeah, nice one. So do I. I said, there you go. Bosh, there's an Italian dictionary, right? You've got all the words. Go and have a chat. You ain't going to know how to put them together. And that is the same with soloing. You need to learn phrases like core musical sentences. You know, it's got to make sense. Otherwise, it just sounds like someone waffling on, talking nothingness. And that is exactly the same. So if you think of it like that, if you're up to that point where you've got the dictionary, so you know all the scales, you've got all the words, but you can't put a conversation together, that is exactly the same with the guitar. So you need to learn some solos, be it whatever style of music you're into, because that's what you're going to feed off. And it's like the other saying, you know, you are what you eat. And with the guitar, you are what you listen to, your influences. If you've got no solo, say for example, none of your influences are people improvise guitar solos, then I don't think you're going to do a good job of it. You might do, I might be wrong. So, you know, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it helps. So for example, if we were say doing blues, I'd say it might be a good idea to learn, say, 4 B.B. King solos. Once you've learned, say, 4 of a famous guitarist solos, you've got basically all their licks, yeah? You could do the same for Clapton. You could do the same for Hendrix, Albert Collins, Albert King, John Lee Hooker. Every guitarist has their signature licks. Now, I'm not saying you have to learn the solos note for note either, because that'd take too long. What you want to do is listen, yeah? And then pick out the bits what appeal to you. Yeah, or you can learn a whole solo, but you might go, oh, that phrase sounds good, so do it like that. So anyway, enough talking. So I'm going to demonstrate a solo just using my first and third finger in this position using the A minor scale, but just using the G note and the A. So the 5th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the D string, C on the G string, D there on the 7th fret. And I might bend this note up, yeah? So here we go. Wish me luck. You might put a comment down below and say it's a rubbish solo. But it's just to get you started. Yeah. Get the idea? So it wasn't a bad solo. Obviously it went on a little bit too long, and then even I started getting bored of hearing myself. But what you got to do, you got to mix it up with slides, hammers, pull-offs, vibrato. All them things you got to develop after you've learnt them scales. And the way you get them, they're like the different flavours or the different regions of a language. Say for example, England or say America, you've got different counties or you've got different states. So we all talk the same language, English, but from where we're from, it comes out different. And that's the same. If you learnt, say, a B.B. King lick to, say, an Albert Collins lick, they play the guitar differently, but they're using the same notes. So it's a really important thing to do. Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use these 4 ones here, but that little shape. So instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to move from position to position, and it's going to sound interesting, I'm going to use them same 4 notes. Do it here, look. So straight away, you're not thinking, oh, I've got to fit this shape in this box. If you're thinking when you're improvising, you have to when you're learning, but really you want it to be free. And the other thing, greatest tip, is the question and answer or call and response, if any of you know about that. So it's got to be a conversation, like we said. You wouldn't go to Italy and just have a dictionary of words. You'd want to say hello, good morning. You want to learn them simple phrases. So here's a simple question. Here's the answer. Another question. Here's the answer. And there's space. If you're playing a solo and you're just going, when you first start, you think that's amazing. I remember I did. I was like, wow, the pentatonic scale. Look, I sound great. Right, a couple of weeks later, it's like, sound a bit boring now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a G and an A, a C and a D there, and I'm going to use a G and an A there, and a C and a D. So you got to do is find them places, and then we are going to use the 5th note. So we are using actually the whole pentatonic scale, because we're going to bend up to an E, or I might bend up to an E flat, which is part of the blues scale. But we're just thinking of it as a bend really at the moment. So we're really aiming on it just to sound musical and good, yeah? So here we go. Where we go? Question. Look at that space. Answer. Another question. want to try these ideas, there's a link down below to this backing track I was using. And also there's a link to my website where there's like, I don't know how many, there's a load of backing tracks there in different keys. But you're best just doing one first and then trying them same ideas in other keys and developing it like that. This is just one idea. Say I do like scales as well, I use scales. But if you're getting into it and you're bored of your playing, try and be creative with not much. It's a bit like, another analogy is having a blank canvas and you've got all the colours available to you, like with your paintbrush, but you can't paint. You want to learn to do it with just a black first and make it look good, and then you can build on that. Because if you have a look at, say, that, let's have a little lick. Yeah, that. Well, then you could start building in, say, these two notes. But look. And all of a sudden it starts coming alive. But that's a lick. And a lick is a musical sentence for me. So that's what you got to do, is pick some licks out. And you only need a handful of them, and then you can build on it. Another good tip is, so if this is a lick, so look. Yeah? Now, what I'm going to do is do another lick, but start off with that and add something else in. Now I'm going to build on again. So I'm going to try solo now, building off of one lick. So yeah, so if you liked what you heard, Val, or if that's helped you, as I said, down below there's a link to all these tracks which are up on YouTube, and there's also a link to where you can get them from on my website. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you've got any comments, please leave them down below, good and bad. All right, see you later. Bye.